it's exciting. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, closer range, outside, and he can fight going both ways. So
Terence Crawford is on a mission, and the entire boxing world is keeping a close watch. His upcoming clash against Canelo Alvarez in September 2025 has been billed as one of the most anticipated matchups in modern boxing history. While many observers see Crawford as the underdog primarily because of the size difference, a significant number of respected boxing analysts and former champions believe that he possesses the tools, the intelligence, and the skill to shock the world and walk away with the victory.
That Crawford could beat him, because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for.
Crawford's journey began in a much lighter weight division compared to Canelo, who is a natural super middleweight and has even ventured into light heavyweight territory. However, seasoned boxing minds, especially those who have competed at the very highest level, understand that fights are not won by size alone. One such expert is Errol Spence Jr., who knows exactly how dangerous Crawford can be after sharing the ring with him.
I'll be going for Bud. You know, if he fight Canelo.
You got Crawford over Bud? I mean, you got Crawford over Canelo? Sorry.
I'll be going for him. I'll be going for him.
In July 2023, Spence squared off with Crawford in a historic bout for the undisputed welterweight championship. It marked the first time in the four-belt era that the division crowned a true undisputed champion. Leading into the fight, the public expected a competitive and tightly contested war. However, once the opening bell rang, Crawford immediately seized control. His precise punches, impeccable timing, and constant pressure completely neutralized Spence's offense. What unfolded was a masterclass. Crawford didn't just win, he dismantled Spence round by round. By the 9th round, he had secured a dominant stoppage, claiming all 4 welterweight belts in one of the most complete performances ever witnessed in championship boxing.
I call my friend, you know, he's been in my house, so it's hard for me to go against my own friend. I just hope both of them come out healthy, make a lot of money, and give the fans a great.
Having experienced Crawford's skill set firsthand, Spence is fully aware of the challenge awaiting Canelo Alvarez. Speaking to Fight Hub TV about the potential showdown, Spence offered his full backing to Crawford. "I'll be going for Bud if he fights Canelo. I don't know if he's going to win or lose, but I'll definitely be rooting for Crawford. If anyone can pull it off, he can." Spence pointed out that Crawford's pursuit of greatness mirrors Canelo's own career moves. Just as Canelo moved up to face bigger men like Sergey Kovalev and Dmitry Bivol, Crawford is now stepping up to take on a larger challenge. He's chasing greatness, so why not? Spence added. Canelo went up to 175 and fought Kovalev and Bivol. If he can do it after starting at 147, then why can't Bud?
Beat Canelo. Terence does beat Canelo. Terence does prove that he's a better fighter than Canelo. Now, whose era it was, it's kind of hard to do that for Bud, because obviously Canelo was on top of the sport for much longer. He was able to get any fight that he.
Crawford's hunger, drive, and relentless determination are precisely why so many insiders believe he stands a legitimate chance of pulling off the upset. While physical size and strength undeniably matter in boxing, history has shown that elite skill, sharp strategy, and mental resilience often determine the outcome of big fights. Crawford's adaptability and ability to outthink opponents mid-bout is what makes him so dangerous. However, Canelo Alvarez is no ordinary obstacle. He is one of the most experienced and decorated fighters of his era, with signature victories over elite names such as Gennady Golovkin and Sergey Kovalev. Renowned for his crushing body shots and deadly counterpunches, Canelo has the tools to systematically break down an opponent. If Crawford makes mistakes or allows openings, Canelo could target his body, wear him down, and set up a fight-ending knockout.
I think it's a fight Canelo really wants, if I'm honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middleweight. And Crawford's going to move a lot in that fight, which is not ideal for Canelo.
The stakes grew even higher when Canelo signed a 4-fight deal stretching from May 2025 to October 2026. One of those bouts is the much-awaited clash with Crawford in Las Vegas. But before that, Canelo is scheduled to defend his titles against IBF champion William Skull on May 3, 2025, in Riyadh. This fight will unify the super middleweight division, with both men putting their belts on the line. While Skull isn't as well known as Canelo, he poses a genuine threat. The undefeated Cuban-German fighter, with a 23-0 record, turned professional in 2016 and has been steadily proving himself, capturing the IBF belt last year and defending it successfully. His style is well-rounded, and his knockout over Gaston Dario Avalos showcased his ability to end fights decisively. Canelo will need to be sharp to overcome Skull and clear the path to the Crawford bout.
Excuse my language, the size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this.
Meanwhile, Crawford is closely monitoring events. Recently, he sent a clear and confident message to Canelo: "Good luck in your next fight, Canelo. I'm looking forward to becoming a 3-time undisputed champion." His goal is unprecedented, becoming the only male fighter in history to hold undisputed status in 3 different weight divisions. The task is monumental, but Crawford's career has been built on defying expectations. The size discrepancy between him and Canelo has been a focal point of pre-fight discussions. Canelo is a natural super middleweight with experience at light heavyweight, while Crawford only recently moved up to welterweight. Many believe this gap gives Canelo a major advantage, but those who know Crawford personally insist that his skill and mental grit can close that gap.
Terence is not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting. Terence is freakishly strong.
One of Crawford's most lethal weapons is his versatility. He is equally effective fighting orthodox or southpaw and can shift styles seamlessly mid-fight. In his bout against Spence, Crawford began in a southpaw stance, controlling range and landing clean, accurate shots. His boxing IQ allows him to anticipate and counter moves before they happen, keeping him a step ahead at all times. This adaptability could be critical against Canelo. On the flip side, Canelo is a master of calculated pressure and body punching. He excels at gradually breaking opponents down over several rounds and then finishing them decisively. If Crawford is not alert, Canelo could impose his will in exactly that fashion.
Him and Crawford accept to fight in Saudi Arabia, the big fight. But we as a Riyadh season know how is big this fight.
Mike Tyson, famous for his blunt takes and encyclopedic fight knowledge, didn't sugarcoat his thoughts on the matchup during his It Is What It Is podcast. "I don't like that fight too much weight," Tyson admitted, voicing concern about Crawford dealing with Canelo's natural size and strength. Tyson referenced Crawford's bout with Israil Madrimov, where Crawford, despite winning, had moments of difficulty against Madrimov's size and awkward rhythm. Against a bigger, stronger, and more experienced opponent like Canelo, Tyson believes those challenges could be magnified.
Max, if he accepts, I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, power and size.
Still, Tyson didn't entirely write Crawford off. He acknowledged that if Crawford can neutralize the size advantage, Canelo may find himself dealing with a nightmare in the ring. Tyson himself knows what it's like to overcome size deficits. Throughout his career, he beat taller and heavier heavyweights with explosive speed, timing, and precision. He understands that while size is a major factor, exceptional skill can tilt the balance. That's why he left the door open for Crawford to spring an upset.
I think a lot of Canelo fans, for some reason, they know that there's no excuse. If he loses to Bud, this is a huge mark on his resume. If he beats Bud, he does beat a very accomplished fighter in his era. But there's no ready-made excuses in this.
Boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult has also weighed in. Initially skeptical of the fight due to Crawford's more aggressive, risk-taking style, especially when compared to Floyd Mayweather's defensive masterclass in 2013, Showbiz thought that Canelo's precision could exploit openings. Unlike Mayweather, Crawford is willing to exchange, meaning he gets hit more often, which could play into Canelo's hands.
I think should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jamel Charlo already.
However, after reanalyzing Canelo's weaknesses, Showbiz shifted his stance. He noted that Canelo struggles when pushed backward, as seen in his loss to Mayweather and his defeat to Dimitri Bivol. In both cases, sustained pressure and movement disrupted Canelo's rhythm and limited his power. Showbiz now believes Crawford has the tools to use a similar strategy.
Terence Crawford, his name keeps coming up, and I know he's a lot smaller than you. Is that a fight that you would ever consider under any circumstance?
You know, I always say if the fight make sense.
One key element in that plan is Crawford's punishing body jab. By targeting Canelo's midsection early, Crawford could slow him down and create opportunities for bigger shots. Combined with his ability to switch stances mid-fight, Crawford could force Canelo into constant adjustments, disrupting his timing.
Versus Crawford, the biggest fight in the game.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're looking at Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, this is the next thing beyond that.
Showbiz also highlighted Canelo's tendency to fade in later rounds, which plays into Crawford's reputation for getting stronger as the fight goes on. If Crawford can weather the early storm, he could take control down the stretch. Both Showbiz and Tyson agree, the fight carries huge risks for Crawford, but the reward could be historic if he pulls it off.
I think he wants to make history.
It's a big fight.
Well, to make history is worth doing it. Yeah, I think he's one.
Bob Arum, the legendary promoter who has worked closely with Crawford, has been outspoken in his belief that Crawford can dethrone Canelo. He points to Crawford's ambidextrous style as a unique weapon that frustrates opponents and controls the fight's tempo.
It's a Sugar Leonard Hagler type thing. I think he can go up and shock the world, but I guess we'll see, you know.
Well, maybe, you know, I think what Crawford is looking for is Manny Pacquiao De La Hoya.
Wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him.
Terence Crawford calling out Canelo.
You know, I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much.
Say it's impossible for my boy Crawford, but it's one of those things where if he really wants to win against Canelo, he's gonna need to do everything, you know.
In boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that, you know, is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody.
I think it's very difficult. Canelo got the IQ. He got the size. He got the power. Maybe. It's a very difficult fight, but I think if anybody could get it done, it's Terence Crawford.
Say like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's gonna be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds.
Versus Canelo, based on last fight, is a 50-50. So Canelo fights an undisputed champ, up-and-coming former champion, and an up-and-coming undefeated contender. And somehow those 3 last opponents are somehow compared to Bud's Madrimov fight.
Arum emphasized how Crawford dismantled Spence by showing him nothing but a southpaw look, throwing off his entire game plan. That kind of tactical mastery could be pivotal against Canelo. Arum compared this potential fight to Manny Pacquiao's 2008 upset of Oscar De La Hoya, where speed, movement, and angles overcame size and power. He sees Crawford executing a similar blueprint. Arum has even said that in their primes, Crawford could have beaten Floyd Mayweather due to his equally dangerous orthodox and southpaw skills, something Mayweather never faced at that level. Shakur Stevenson, a rising star and friend of Crawford, echoed confidence in Crawford's chances while acknowledging Canelo's dangerous combination of size, IQ, and power. Stevenson's view is that this is a monumental challenge, but Crawford's unpredictability could give him an edge. The bout's sudden feasibility is credited largely to Saudi boxing figure Turki Al-Sheikh, whose influence has brought the 2 camps close to finalizing terms. For Crawford, victory would cement his name alongside all-time greats like Manny Pacquiao and Sugar Ray Leonard. For Canelo, it would be another notch in an already legendary career. The stakes are massive, the risks are real, and if this fight happens, it promises to be a battle that boxing fans will never forget.